is time to break down exactly how, in this 2 versus 5, the round looks unwinnable. But a player named Yaga completely changes that.
Yoggah and Diaz are the only 2 players on OXG with a pulse still on them. 4 players, 5 players from Shopify Rebellion getting closer to the bomb site. Yoggah, though, holding court. Diaz will have to watch the hatch and blue, but there will be no drop. 10 seconds to go. Another from Yaga. There's no way. Looking for a 4th. He gets the down on Rexton.
What?
And the ace for the Yoggah.
How did he even just do that? We're probably both asking that question, so let's break it down together. This is the Six Invitational located way out there in Boston, and many teams are fighting their way through a very, very tough bracket. We are here to talk about 2 of those teams competing in this tournament, Shopify Rebellion and Oxygen Esports. Shopify had taken a pretty close loss to Raza Company in the upper bracket, which then dropped them down to the lower bracket where they meet their opponents in this video, Oxygen Esports. But we're going to go by OXG. This is a very important match for both teams. Whoever is on the opposite side of a win has only one option, walking the way out of the biggest $3 million Siege tournament. The first map takes place. Each team showcases they are willing to fight round after round, but OXG does come out on top, claiming the first map 8-6. And here we are on the second map taking place on Clubhouse, where Shopify has worked their way up to 7-6, and all they need is one more round for this series to go to map 3. Remember that. Just one more round. It all starts off with OXG defending arguably the best site, Arsenal and Church, located in the basement. They go for a very default site setup by reinforcing the triple wall in Church, as well as the 3 hatches over in Kitchen, Bar, and Stock. OXG has Hat on the K with a big focus on K-Trick in the Moto hatch. This is good because with the triple wall reinforced, Shopify can possibly open up the Moto hatch and then send someone down the main stairs to have crucial map control without much effort. But if this hatch remains closed, it is very threatening to Shopify if anyone is to walk down main, as Moto is now another angle added on top of these angles they would already be exposed to. OXG doesn't have a single player starting off on the roam, and with a utility-based lineup, all 5 of them are bunkered in sight, forcing Shopify to make a move right into smokes, Fenrir traps, and C4s. Shopify begins to move in and set up their attack. Surf and Ambi spawn warehouse side to take into CCTV and master bedroom. At the same time, Rexton starts moving into garage and Grixer is posted outside of kitchen. They are looking to take things slow, and knowing OXG are heavily bunkered in sight, they go for a full top-down clear. This ensures that the first and second floor are completely safe and they don't get caught off guard making their way down to the bomb site. With Canadian flipping cameras and having pre-placed drones, they gain map control pretty quick. Now, Rexton on the Twitch sends his drone down oil and is able to get 2 Fenrir traps in the mute jammer. This is really good for setting up his team for potential plays down blue later in the round. After full clearing both the first and second floor, Shopify now have the space to open up the Moto and kitchen hatches. Remember OXG having Hat K-Trick the Moto hatch? Well, the way tricking works is that when an EMP is thrown on the attacker's side, you simply throw your second claw on the reinforcement to keep it electrified. With Shopify bringing Habana, her pellets will either get destroyed or she'll never be able to put them on the hatch at all. Well, Canadian is on Cali, and the main reason she is the perfect pick for the situation is that Callie can simply use her gadget to destroy any utility that is in its radius. So when a K-Claw is placed, say goodbye to that K-Claw. Canadian does exactly that, and Grixer is able to get the hatch open, forcing OXG to back off. Hat also has one more claw in his pocket, so he moves to electrify the triple wall, but Canadian has 3 more Callies and completely destroys Hat's second claw. Shopify begin to get the triple wall open, and off the noise of the ace charges, Newers decides to test his luck and swing into blue stairs looking to get a first pick. But Rexton has been on this side of the map since the start of the round, and he's on Twitch, so he definitely has multiple drones available. On one of his drones, he catches Newers making his way from dummies into blue and is able to take him down.
Moto hatch gets open, the tricking not successful. They'll save the last claw for the main wall.
Down goes Newers in the hands of Rexton.
The way Shopify are attacking this round is pushing from multiple different angles surrounding OXG on the bomb site. And with no roamers from OXG, they're able to do that just a little bit easier. All the while, blue stairs is a very strong point to push, and Rexton continues to fight his way in while using the 8 card to his advantage by taking Hat down from an angle at the top of the stairs. Now, Gomez is posted inside of dirt, but he hears absolutely nothing happening over here, so he decides to shuffle back to the site to support his team that is currently down 2 players. But you see, Shopify has already gotten the kitchen hatch open, and Surf is looking down through that hatch on an angle he definitely has advantage of. So as Gomez is making his way from dirt, he walks right into Arsenal and gets punished by Surf from that kitchen hatch.
Things seem to be trending in the right direction for Shopify Rebellion. Now it's Diaz taking some damage over towards the back of the bomb site. Rexton yet another. The two big threats down for the count.
It's not looking so good for OXG. With 30 seconds on the clock, all Shopify has to do is coordinate and take fights together to close us out. But they do the complete opposite. Yaga is playing close blue, just waiting for Rexon to overstep after taking out Hat from the stairs. But Rexon plays it pretty smart by slowing his push down, hopping on drone, and attempting to distract Yaga while the rest of Shopify makes space elsewhere. But immediately Yaga knows this, so he quickly repositions in church. In most cases when it's a 2v5, you need to up your aggression to find a fight as fast as possible. Yaga sees the breach that got opened up by Ace. This is where most of the attack is happening. He throws a smoke to stop any player from possibly being close on the head hose and catching him by surprise. But this also disguises the moment he looks over the main stairs, gets an isolated 1v1 with Grixer, and takes him out.
Yoggah and Diaz are the only two players on OXG with a pulse still on them. 4 players, 5 players from Shopify.
Well, where's the trade from Shopify? Ambi and Canadian are posted above the Moto hatch. They can't necessarily drop yet with no info on the site, but when Grixer dies, it's time to move. They synchronize a drop, but how could they do it silently? Yaga definitely heard this happen, so he quickly readies up his gun, and as Canadian attempts to trade Grixer, he gets shut down. And where's Ambi? This is what I'm unsure of. He could have been holding the Ace head hose before Canadian swung into church, thinking that's where Yaga would take his next fight, but honestly, I don't know. Anyways, he does move into church, but not in time to catch Yaga repositioning behind cover. Now it's a 2v3 and the time is ticking in favor of OXG. Yaga at this moment has no idea Ambi is just pixels away from potentially closing this round out, until Ambi takes a step. Yaga hears this and prepares to fight him, but Ambi recognizes he could be swinging right into Yaga's crosshair placement, so he changes his head level by crouching to throw him off guard. But that doesn't even matter, Yaga still flicks right to his head with an SMG-11, one of the hardest but most rewarding guns in the game. Now if we do a process of elimination, he knows exactly where the last 2 attackers are going to be. Remember Rexon on Twitch took out 2 of his teammates from blue, and Surf also killed Grixer from the kitchen hatch. Okay, well, what does that mean? Surf never dropped that hatch, and the closest entry to the basement from the kitchen hatch is main stairs. Purely off that information, Yaga takes out Rexon trying to pitch him from blue, then flicks over and just hits another nasty shot right on the Surf to secure the round. Wow. Let's not forget, Yaga did all of this with an SMG-11, but now that you see exactly how and why everything played out the way it did, watch it back with no pauses to really get an understanding at how crazy this clutch actually is.
Yoggah and Diaz are the only 2 players on OXG with a pulse still on them. 4 players, 5 players from Shopify Rebellion getting closer to the bomb site. Yaga, though, holding court. 2 players on the side of the Rebellion falter. Diaz will have to watch the hatch and blue, but there will be no drop. 10 seconds to go. Another from Yaga. There's no way. Looking for a 4th. He gets the down on Rexon. What? And the ace for the Yaga dog.
All the energy from Yaga's clutch carries over to the last and final round, where OXG take the victory, claiming map 2, knocking Shopify out of the tournament and securing their next spot in the lower bracket of playoffs.